This is how I lost 20 kgs of fat in just 4 months. Welcome to the video, guys. My name is Kosi, aka King Kosi, aka the Big G. I used to be 115 kilos of muscle and fat, and right now I weigh about 98 to 95 kilos. So I've lost about 20 kilograms of fat in the last 4 months. I did this intentionally, and I'm going to teach you guys how exactly I did it in this video. I've got about 5 points to expand on with you guys. I'm going to jump straight into it. Let's go. So the first thing I did was I started doing steady state cardio. It's basically the kind of cardio you do where your heart rate is at the same level throughout the period of your workout. So what I did specifically was incline walks on the treadmill. So I put the treadmill on an incline of 15 and I just walk on the treadmill for about 30 minutes or 20 minutes. I did that at least 5 days a week, and that's one major thing that helped me lose a lot of fat. I think steady state cardio is a better option for losing fat as opposed to HIIT cardio like sprinting or skipping or burpees, all the kind of stuff that people think that burns fat. Yes, those kind of exercises burn fat, but steady state cardio is a better option because it's a lot more sustainable. It's the kind of cardio you can do over and over and over again every day, back to back, and not have any wear and tear on your body, not have any joint problems, not have the kind of problems that you get when you do HIIT cardio. For instance, me myself, I tend to have some pains on my shin when I run. I tend to have pains on my shin when I skip as well. I know a lot of people, especially older people. And when I mean older, I mean from your late 20s and above. The body is not the same anymore. You're not able to get away with things that you were able to get away with when you were a lot younger. So doing steady state cardio is a more sustainable option for weight loss than HIIT cardio. I'm not saying HIIT cardio doesn't burn fat. It does, but you won't be able to do it as often as steady state cardio. Another reason steady state cardio is better than HIIT cardio is with steady state cardio, you're basically directly burning fat as opposed to HIIT cardio where you're burning glucose or carbs. You could go on the Stairmaster and just walk. You can go on the treadmill, put it on the incline and just walk. You could go on a cycle and just cycle. The exercise should be a bit intense, but not too intense, because when your heart rate is getting to a point where you can't even speak, then you're going away from doing zone 2 cardio and you're entering the realm of doing HIIT cardio. So you want to do zone 2 cardio in a steady state. And what I mean by zone 2 cardio, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, is just think about doing cardio and being able to have a conversation. So any kind of cardio you could do and still be able to speak, or still be able to read a book, or go on your phones, read your emails, have a conversation with someone. That's basically zone 2 cardio. It's the kind of cardio where you're sweating, you're exercising. It's not easy, but it's not too difficult to the point where you can't even speak. If you get to the point where you can't even speak, then you're going past zone 2 and entering another realm. So the first point, steady state cardio, that made a huge difference. I never used to do any cardio, but I remember when I started doing cardio, when I wanted to actually lose the fat, I started doing like burpees, I started skipping, I started sprinting, all that kind of stuff. That's basically what most people think is going to burn fat, until I did my research and I realized that steady state cardio is actually what burns the fat. Because like I said, it's more sustainable and it targets fat directly. It burns fat directly as opposed to HIIT cardio that burns glucose for energy, that burns carbs for energy. So steady state cardio is the way to go. Incorporate that, and in the next couple of weeks, you start to see changes. Number 2, you want to lift heavy weight in the gym. And the reason I say this is because when you start to lose weight, when you start to see the scale go down, you could be losing muscle as well as losing fat. This typically happens when you're not engaging your muscle enough. So think about this. Let's say you're an employer, you have an employee. In this case, your employee is your muscle. If you don't give it work to do, if you don't give your muscle work to do, then it's basically gonna think it's not needed anymore, and it's gonna stop being capable of doing work, and it's gonna stop showing up. So if you have your muscle with you, let's say you're a big guy like I was, loads of muscle and loads of fat as well. If you just do cardio because you want to burn fat and you don't engage your muscle enough, you basically lose muscle as you're losing fat because the body doesn't know what exactly you want to keep and what exactly you want to burn. So the best way to lose fat and build muscle, or at least keep the muscle, is to lift heavy weight. That's basically the primary function of your muscle, is to help you lift heavy shit. So if you keep lifting heavy weight, the muscle is going to be like, oh shit, I need to stay, so that the body can survive these heavy lifting that this guy is putting it through. Especially if you're on a caloric deficit, you're eating less calories than you normally do, you're doing more cardio, your muscle might diminish as you carry on with this. A lot of people think that losing fat is basically doing as much cardio as you can and neglecting your weightlifting in the gym, but that's very far from the truth. The way I've been able to keep myself looking jacked and lean at the same time, six pack, still got my muscles, got my biceps, everything still intact, just basically burning fat alone, is by lifting heavy in the gym. You don't want to just do easy workouts. You don't want to just go and do weights that you're very comfortable with. You're not challenging the muscle, especially if you want to grow your muscle. You're not challenging your muscle to want to grow, or at least to stay whilst you're losing fat. So don't make the mistake of just doing cardio, doing excessive cardio, and not lifting heavy enough in the gym. You want to go hard on your compound exercises. That's the important exercises that you need to focus on. Your squats, your bench, your deadlift. These are exercises that will target several muscle groups at the same time. And if you stay strong on these exercises, you would notice that whilst you're losing fat, you would even gain more muscle, or at least keep the muscle. The way I train is anytime I do legs, I make sure I go to at least a 2-rep max on my squats before I go into isolatory exercises like leg extensions and all that sort of stuff. When I'm training chest or shoulders, I make sure I max out on my bench press. I do at least a 2-rep max on my bench press. When I'm training back, I make sure I max out on my deadlifts, or I max out on my weighted pull-ups, so I can keep that raw, lean muscle intact. Number 2, you want to walk and you want to take 10,000 steps a day. This is a huge game changer. I never used to track my steps. I'll just go about my day not knowing exactly how many steps I'm taking. And I noticed that when I started tracking my steps and taking at least 10,000 steps a day, I've got the best results when it comes to losing fat, because in order for you to take 10,000 steps a day, you need to be at least moderately active in the day. It's not impossible to achieve. It's very difficult to achieve. A lot of us don't know how many steps we take in a day, and that's because we're caught up in our day-to-day activity, especially if you're not in a job that warrants you to be active, to take steps. Some of us have desk jobs, we have office jobs. We just sit down on the desk all day and not walk enough. Some of us drive. When you drive, I notice that you tend to take less steps. So if you take 10,000 steps a day, it's a good range to be in, because walking helps you burn fat. Walking is very underestimated when it comes to burning fat, because what a lot of people don't understand is that how you burn fat is not just by doing cardio. It's your day-to-day activity, how active you are in the day, how much things you do in the day, how much you're moving, how much you're walking around, how much you're using your body. That's basically what burns energy. That's what burns fat. This is why a lot of couch potatoes are usually obese, because they're used to sitting down all day, doing their work sitting down, watching TV sitting down, eating sitting down. Especially with the rise of civilization, a lot of us are used to just doing things sitting down. If you think about the way people lived back then, there's a reason people back then were a lot less obese than people are now, because people right now live a sedentary life. People right now are not as active as people used to be back then, and that's because of civilization. We've come to a stage in life where a lot of things are easy right now. You want to get food, you could order it to your house, you could work from home. You want to go to somewhere, you can just hop in the car and just drive there. People don't move as much as we need to, so just basically moving would help you burn fat. So walking is a cheat code when it comes to burning fat. If you need to go somewhere, you need to go to the grocery store. If it's a 10-minute walk from where you live, walk. There's nothing wrong with walking. It's good for the body. It's good for burning fat. It's good for keeping you fit. If you want to go pick up some food, you want to go buy some food, if it's not too far away, you don't need to use your car. You don't need to drive everywhere. You can take a walk early in the morning when you wake up. Get some sunshine, vitamin D, it's good for you. You want to go to the gym. If the gym is not too far from you, you don't need to drive there. You don't need to drive everywhere. You can just walk there. If you incorporate walking more in your life, then you would notice that you would burn a lot more fat than you can imagine. So taking at least 10,000 steps a day is a game changer when it comes to burning fat. The fourth point is replacing daily food with lower calorie options. Most of the time, we don't pay attention to how much calories the food that we eat contains. We just eat whatever. If you want to lose fat, one of the most important things you could do is find a lower calorie or healthier option of the food that you eat daily. So basically what I mean by this is if you drink Coke, if you drink soda, if you drink fizzy drinks, Fanta, Coke, whatever it is, Sprite, you want to drink Diet Coke. If you eat rice daily, you want to eat brown rice instead. Or you can eat, if you want to go even further, you can eat cauliflower rice. If you eat eggs daily, you can supplement that with egg whites. It's got less calories. If you cook your food with vegetable oil, you can supplement that with avocado oil. It's got less calories. There's an avocado oil out there that has about 0 calories. I use that myself on my weight loss journey and it helped a lot. So just basically finding a lower calorie option of all the foods that you consume is a cheat code when it comes to losing fat. Just making those replacements would take a lot of calories away from your daily diet. So let's say you eat on a normal day, you eat about 35,000 calories. If you make those replacements, say you switch your eggs for egg whites, you switch your Coke for Diet Coke, you switch your white rice to brown rice or cauliflower rice, you switch your chicken thighs for chicken breasts. Just making those switches alone would take a lot of calories from your daily caloric consumption and basically put you in a caloric deficit just by making those switches on your diet. You haven't even done cardio yet. You haven't even trained yet. You haven't even taken your steps yet. You haven't even done nothing yet. Just making those switches alone can make a huge difference when it comes to losing weight. So if you're trying to lose fat, if you're trying to burn fat, make certain switches to your diet, and you won't even have to be on a special kind of diet. You're not on a keto diet. You're not on a carnivore diet. Just basically eating exactly what you eat on a day-to-day basis, but just finding lower calorie options would help you to burn fat a lot faster than you currently are eating what you're eating right now. And the final point is prioritizing rest. You want to prioritize rest when you're trying to burn fat, because your body basically burns fat while you're resting. Also, you keep hunger in check when you're sleeping. If you notice, a lot of the times that you're craving that snack, you're craving that brownie, you're craving that cookie, you're craving that ice cream, it's usually late at night when everyone's sleeping. You're just awake, probably watching TV, or you're on your phone. You just get a craving at night and you want to eat something. It adds up. So going to bed on time and sleeping will help you keep your appetite in check and indirectly help you to burn fat. I know a lot of people that have the habit of just eating late at night. And when you eat late at night, you sleep with the food in your stomach. You're not getting proper sleep because your body is too busy digesting the food that you just ate. It's interfering with your sleep, and then you wake up in the morning and you eat more food again. It's just a cycle of just overconsumption. So going to bed will help you burn fat because you eat less and you would digest the food that you already ate during the day properly whilst you're sleeping. You also grow muscle whilst you're sleeping. So if you're trying to grow more muscle, sleeping is something that you cannot compromise on. You have to sleep if you want to burn fat. You have to sleep if you want to grow muscle. Ever since I started prioritizing sleep, I've noticed a significant improvement in my overall health. I look better. I lose fat easily. I wake up feeling refreshed enough to go and do my workouts properly, to do my cardio properly. I have a clear mind. Sometimes when you don't have a clear mind, your mind is foggy. You could fall into a state of confusion, which may lead to you feeling stressed. And some people are stress eaters. I know I am. When I feel stressed, when I feel overwhelmed, I tend to just overeat. And when I'm stressed eating, I don't eat normal food. I eat cookies, I eat biscuits, I eat all sorts of things that I shouldn't be eating. I know a lot of people are like that as well. So when you get enough sleep, it helps to put a lot of things in place in your life. Your life is just basically, it's like a snowball effect. You're just basically functioning the right way that you're supposed to function. So do not neglect sleep. If you want to burn fat, you want to build muscle, you want to be overall healthier, do not neglect sleep. Sleep is very important. So these 5 things are things that I incorporated in my life, which helped me to burn fat. I've done my research on them. I've practiced them. You see my physique, what I looked like before and what I look like now. You look a lot more attractive when you burn fat, facially as well. Your face looks better, your body looks better, you feel better, your mind is clearer. Losing body fat is an overall benefit to everyone. So these 5 points, do not neglect these 5 points. Steady state cardio, lifting heavy consistently, 10K steps a day, replacing your daily foods with low calorie options, and resting appropriately. If you follow these 5 steps, you will lose a substantial amount of fat in the next couple of months. Don't forget to like the video if you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to get updates on the channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know what stage you are if you need advice on your weight loss journey. I'm available to give you advice in the comments and answer your questions. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.